All right, what's up, world? Today we're talking about how to grow potatoes in your own garden, okay? Now, potatoes do not actually grow from a seed like a tomato or a pepper, all right? You have to actually get something called the seed potato, and then you can grow your potatoes from that. Now, you can go to the grocery store and buy a bag of potatoes, and if you leave it on your counter for a good amount of time, they usually start to sprout these eyes. But I don't recommend using grocery store potatoes to grow from. All right, go online and find a good seed potato or a good producer of seed potatoes. I know people at Hoss Seeds, they have seed potatoes there, so you can check them out. Now, once we have our seed potatoes, what we're going to want to do is cut this into pieces, right? Depending on how big the seed potato is. And actually depending on what season it is also. So in springtime, whenever you grow potatoes in the spring, you're able to cut this potato into 3 or 4 pieces. As long as each piece that you cut contains an eye, you're able to cut this potato into 3 or 4 pieces and turn this one seed potato into 3 different seed potatoes, in a sense, okay? But in the winter time, you plant the entire seed potato. Well, at least that's what I do. You can still cut it and plant it in pieces, but normally in the winter, I usually plant a bigger seed potato instead of a little piece. So, once we have our seed potatoes, we're ready now to cut this into pieces, okay? So I'm going to show you multiple different seed potatoes here. All right, and if you look, you see they have eyes in different places, and they even have eyes that aren't sprouting yet. All right, so what you're going to want to do is take this potato and to cut it 3 or 4 pieces. I cut a big one like this into 4 pieces. You just want to make sure that every piece that you cut, it contains an eye. All right, like I said, you're going to get a potato, get a knife, any kind of knife. If you just want to use the shovel, a hoe, a rake, whatever you have, you're just going to want to be able to cut this potato into pieces. So like I said, we want to make sure that we identify where we have eyes. Here, some eyes here. And now I'm just going to cut this potato like this. And I'm cutting it this way because the eyes that I can see are visible are at the top. So I have one on this side and one on this side. So what I'm going to do is split it right down the middle, and then I would have turned this one seed potato into 2. Okay. So now I simply cut the potato in half, but it is not ready to plant right now. All right. With potatoes, you put them in the ground, we bury this piece, and it sits dormant for a couple of weeks, and then it sprouts. During that period of time when it sits dormant, you watered it and it's in damp conditions, okay? So if I were to plant this seed potato piece right here, you can tell this is fresh. It's still wet, all right? If I were to plant this in the ground right now and it had to sit for 2 weeks during that dormant period, what could happen is this seed potato could actually rot in the ground, and then no potatoes, right? Instead, what you do is after you slice your potato, you cut your potato. Now I sit it out. I can put it in a cardboard box. I can put it in a cardboard bag. You can put it on a countertop. But what you want to do is allow this side, the cut side, the side that's wet right now, what we want to do is allow this to dry and form basically a hard skin, a callus of a sort over the top. Okay, and that usually takes between 5 to 7 days depending on the temperature conditions and where you store it. All right. Now, after it's been sitting for a few days, I'll show you what the pieces look like. So after it's been sitting, you'll see now there's a hard exterior on this seed potato. Okay, this is one I already cut. You'll see it has a few eyes, and these eyes are already starting to sprout again. All right. So now after I cut this potato, all I'm going to do is I throw it in this cardboard box, and I have a bunch of pieces in here. Drop it in the box. Repeat that process and cut up all of your seed potatoes until you just have you know, something like this, a box full of seed potatoes or bags full of seed potatoes. Like I said, we let them sit for 5 to 7 days and then we get ready to plant. But this video here is just talking about how to prep your potatoes for planting. In the next video, we'll talk about how we actually plant potatoes in your own home garden. All right. As always, if you found this informative, you liked it, you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel. Yeah, you can check the link for links to places that sell good, high quality seed potatoes, like over at Haas Tools. Yeah, I think that's basically all I got, man. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Appreciate it, man. Y'all know the motto, just grow it.